Hello, I'm Gary Spots, and I want to ask you to consider your future. I mean, the next 12 months, the next 24 months, and the next 60 months. In other words, I want you to ask yourself this question. Am I on target for a better year over the next 12 months than I was in the last 12 months? And how about the next 2 years or the next 5 years? Now, why am I asking you this question? Well, it's simply because of this. Without a vision for your future, you're simply living in the ruts in the road of life. And your life will be filled with frustration, disappointment, and a host of other unpleasant sensations and feelings. Now, to be sure, even those of us who have a vision experience some of those sensations and feelings as well. The difference is this, is that because we have a vision and a purpose that we can remain focused on, we can overcome those feelings and continue to move forward with the same passion and purpose and intention that we had, even though we encountered disappointment and frustration and all the things that everyone else will encounter. But they, without a purpose and a vision, will stop dead in their tracks. And I mean dead in their tracks. You see, I'm not a guru, I'm not an expert. I'm simply a person who has read, who has studied, who has learned from the wisdom of my mentors, and who has learned also from the pain of my own personal setbacks and failures. A few of the things that I've learned may be able to help you move forward faster, with less pain, and with more wisdom. So I'd like to share a few things with you. If you'll give me a couple of minutes, I'd like to share 5 ideas with you that can help you move forward faster with less pain and more wisdom. Thanks. Just check it out. The first thing I want to share with you is that you get to decide how well you live. Now, you don't get to decide how long you live, but you do get to decide how well you live while you're alive. What do I mean by that? I mean that you determine the quality of the people around you. You determine the quality of your thought life. You determine the quality of your food that you eat. You determine the quality of the exercise that you enjoy and the activities that you experience. All of these things are well within the scope of your ability to decide. And therefore, you don't get to decide how long you live, but you do get to decide how well that you live. And you need to take ownership of that. That's the first thing I want to tell you. Here's the second thing I want to share with you, and that is that every opportunity that you will ever have, that you will ever enjoy, comes through relationship. Now, I know many people say, well, I'm just not a people person. That's just not me. That's not who I am. Here's what I'm going to say, is that if every opportunity that you have ever enjoyed or taken advantage of has come through some relationship that you either developed or someone shared with you or you already had, then doesn't it make sense that if you want more opportunity, if you're not experiencing the kind and the quality of life that you want, and you know that opportunities knock every now and again, and that you need to take advantage of them, and that you can actually now, knowing that every opportunity flows through relationships, you can go out and create opportunities. How do you do that? Well, you go out and you create great relationships with people. And by developing good, healthy, quality, life-giving and life-affirming relationships with people, you create more opportunities for you to grow, as well as you give them opportunities for them to grow and to develop as well. That's the second thing I want you to know. Every opportunity that you will ever have or have ever had has come through some relationship. Professional, personal, familial, sanguinal, all these things are every opportunity. And we say it differently sometimes in the context of a faith community, and that is that every blessing flows through relationship. In business, we say every opportunity flows through relationship. That's the second thing. Here's the third thing, and that is, and you've probably heard this, and it may sound trite to you or cliched or whatever, however you want to characterize it, but the truth is real. And that is that who you are is God's gift to you. Who you become is your gift back to God. I love that because it capsulizes the third thing that I want to share with you. And that is that the person you are today cannot be the person you will be tomorrow if you want more and better opportunities. You have to grow. And growth is not accidental. Now, growth may be incidental to some other activity that you're doing, but it is never accidental. In fact, real growth that has real value for your life, that is something that you can replicate or repeat and do over again and over again and over again as you decide to grow and get better. Real growth is always intentional. It is purposeful. It is a decision that you made. And so therefore, in order for you to have a higher quality of life, you're going to have to become a higher quality of person. That's the third thing I want to share with you. Okay, so now here's the fourth. The fourth is very simply this. What is a quality person? I've had that question asked of me many times, and sometimes with a little acid in their voice or a little terseness in their tongue when they ask the question, because they think I'm suggesting that they're not a quality person. What I'm saying is this, and let me define what I mean by quality person. A quality person is someone who wants more than they currently have, whether it means they have better relationships, better health, more financial options and opportunities, whatever it is that that person wants to pursue. So that's the first thing that a quality person, that's a quality of a quality person. The second quality of a quality person is that they are willing to learn what they do not know yet in order to acquire the things that they want to acquire. So it's a person who has something that they would love to achieve or acquire beyond where they are presently. Someone who acknowledges that they don't know what they need to know and are willing to go out and get under the learning tree and learn what they need to know to acquire the things that they want. Thirdly, a person who is willing to make the necessary changes in their own life. You cannot grow and become a quality person or a higher quality person. I'm going to assume that you're already a quality person, but you cannot become a higher quality of person with the attitude of take me as I am. The reality is that you have grown, you have developed, but there's more. There's an old saying that you do not have to be sick to get better. So grow, change, because the only evidence of life is growth. And then the fourth thing, which is just as important as the previous three, you got to have something that you want to accomplish. You got to acknowledge what you don't know, and then you've got to be willing to pursue what you don't know. Then you got to be willing to change based on what you're learning. And then finally, in order to be a real quality person, you've got to be willing to do the work. Get your hands dirty. Get out there and do the grunt work to make the reality that you're dreaming about and envisioning a reality. And then when you can do those four things, you are a real, true quality person. That's the fourth thing. Okay, so now you're wondering, what's the fifth? Well, it's get over you. Let me repeat that. Get over you, or get over yourself, just to use the reflexive. Here's what I mean by that. I was in my early 30s, already finished my bachelor's, already had my master's, had already worked in higher education and done a whole range of things before any of these ideas that I'm sharing with you really came into this to view and within the scope of my understanding of how I needed to live my life to be the kind of person to have the quality of life that I want. I was beyond, I mean, probably 5 or 6 years beyond my master's degree before I really encountered any of these things that I'm sharing with you now. And I'm sad to say that I was in my 30s before I learned these things. Now, I had great mentors before that, but here's what I'm saying. I didn't learn these things until I had already finished my master's. And I had to get over me and my education and my experience and things I had already accomplished and achieved and done and whatever, my titles, and so to speak. Get over you. You see, because the reality is that you are your own product. And nobody is going to buy a Packard today. And nobody's going to buy a Yugo. Nobody's buying Yugos. It's just the reality. And so you got to get over it. If you're the manufacturer of the Yugo and you just want to keep on trying to make it happen with that Yugo, well, you're just going to get stuck. Get over you. Learn, grow, develop, create new relationships. Realize that what you know currently is the foundation. This is the foundation upon which you can build a higher quality of life if you'll do the other four things I mentioned. Get over you. You're smart, you're intelligent, you're ambitious, you're hungry. There are things you want to accomplish. You're the kind and quality of person that you really can become and want to become. And so get over you. And here's one of the ways that you do that. Write a personal vision statement. Write a personal vision statement. And I believe that's important. And then recite it every day. A personal vision statement outlines in clear language the person you want to become, the skills you want to acquire, and the impact you have on other people's lives based on the skills that you acquire. And I will share with you in future videos personal power statements, or however you want to call it, a personal empowerment or a personal vision statement, and give you a framework out of which to begin to develop that for yourself that you can begin to recite on a daily basis. Hey, I'm Garry Spots. Thank you so much for taking this time out of your life to listen to these 5 things, and I hope that they've been beneficial to you. Please check out my website. It'll show up on the screen in just a moment. And if you have questions or comments or even some hate mail, I'm excited about receiving that as well. Talk with you soon. Peace, love, and soul train. We'll see you.